Hello students, welcome back. Today we are going to start part 3 of the chapter Conditional and Looping Constructs. In the last part we have studied two types of statements, that is sequential statements in which the statements are executed step by step, and the selection statements in which the statements are executed depending upon a particular condition. Today we are going to talk about iterative statements or looping statements. First of all, let us understand what is iteration. Iteration means a repetition of a process. Usually in our day-to-day life, we repeat a task. For example, you get up in the morning, have bath, then you have your breakfast and the daily course continue till you go to sleep. Another example, when you come back to your house after playing, you wash your hands till they become clean. So the things are getting repeated again and again. So this kind of repetition till a condition is satisfied is called as iteration. किसी भी काम को बार बार रिपीट करना जब तक कोई कंडीशन सेटिस्फाई नहीं हो जाती है, उस प्रोसेस को आप क्या बोलेंगे? इटरेशन. Repetition of a set of statements is made possible using constructs, looping constructs. प्रोग्रामिंग में स्टेटमेंट्स को रिपीट करना किस तरह से पॉसिबल हो पाता है? बाय यूजिंग द loops. Looping constructs provide you the facility to execute a set of statements in a program repetitively based on a condition. Looping construct की हेल्प से आप एक प्रोग्राम में अपने स्टेटमेंट्स को एग्जीक्यूट कर सकते हैं the number of times you want based on a condition till the condition which you have specified in the program. If that condition is true, the program will repeat that number of times. Now the question arises, why do we use loops? Suppose we want to print first 5 natural numbers. So for this we can give 5 print statements like this: print 1, print 2, print 3, print 4, print 5. But if we want to print 10,000 natural numbers, so do we will write in the same way? Obviously no, because writing the numbers from 1 to 10,000 will take a lot of time, and also it is not considered a good programming method. So the answer to this problem is iteration or looping. So we have two types of looping constructs here. One is the for loop and the other is while loop. So in the for loop, what happens is, first of all, the condition is checked. If the condition is true, the statement in the for loop is executed. Again it goes to the condition and checks the condition. So the statement in the for loop is executed till the time the condition is true. As soon as the condition in the for loop becomes false, the control will come out of the for loop. And if there is any statement outside the loop, that will be executed. If there is no statement outside the loop, only the output that was there in the according to the statements of the for loop, that will come. Let us understand its syntax. For control variable, in items in range, and then the statement in the body of the loop. After writing every loop or the statement, you have to give a colon sign. This is very important part. Here for and in are the keywords. Control variable can be any variable that takes new value from the range each time the loop is executed. It can have any name like A, B, C, letter X, Y, Z. Items in the range means it can have the numerical values like integer values or float values. It can have the list, more than one value, or it can have string, that is a collection of characters. There is one example here. For letter in Python. For and in are the keywords. Letter is the control variable. Python is a string enclosed in single quotes. It can also be enclosed in double quotes. Colon sign, body part of the for loop, it says print letter. So by default the print function prints whatever the data it has to print in the separate lines. So first, when the string is accessed, it starts for the 0th position, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first the first character will be taken and it will be printed as P. Then the second character Y, printed as Y. Similarly, all the letters will be printed in the separate lines from P to N. Now after N, there is no letter or character in the string Python. So it doesn't find any character here, so it comes out of the loop and here. Since there is no print statement or anything after the loop, it terminates here. If there would have been any print statement here, it would have executed that print statement. Now there is a range function which is used many a times. Range is a built-in function and is used to create a list with some items in it. What is the meaning of built-in function? When you purchase a phone, there are some apps which are already present. So you can say they are the built-in apps, and there are some apps which you download on your own. So the apps which are already present in the phone are known as the built-in apps. Similarly, the functions which are already present in the Python library are known as a built-in function. There are so many built-in functions which we have talked about earlier. Like we had the input function, we had the print function. Similarly, we have the range function. The syntax of the range function is as follows. The name of the function. In the parenthesis, we have three values: start, stop, step. Start specifies the starting value, stop specifies the ending value, and step specifies the gap. Start and step parameters are optional. These are also known as parameters. They are optional. But the value of the stop is very much essential, and by default the list starts from 0. The function returns the value 1 less than the stop value. Whatever you will provide in the range function, the output will be 1 less than the given value. For example, we have here range 10. So this is which value? Start, stop, or step? This is stop, because start and step can be optional, but stop cannot be optional. It is very important. So 1 less than 10 is 9, so it will print 1 to 9. Next example is range 1, 11. This is the starting value. This is the ending value. So 1 less than 11 is 10. So it will print the values 1 to 10. Then we have again the range function. 0 starting value, 30 ending value, and 5 is the step. So it will start printing. We have been told that it will take one value less, but in this case the gap is not 1. By default the gap is 1, but if the gap is given, then we have to take that step only. Here the step is 5. It means we have to take a number after 5 steps. First is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 5 10. 10 plus 5 15. 15 plus 5 20. 20 plus 5 25. Now if we will do 25 plus 5, it becomes 30, but 30 cannot be taken because this is the ending value. So it will give us the output till 25. Similarly, in the start, stop, end, here we have given the positive values. Here negative values can also be given. Starting value 0, ending value minus 10, and gap is minus 1. So last is minus 10. So here it will start from 0, give a gap of 1 digit, and it will go from minus 1 to minus 9. I hope the range function is clear. It is very important function because it will be used in the for loop many a times. Next is while loop. While loop is also a looping construct which first tests the condition. If the condition is true, it executes the statements in the while loop. Then again checks the condition. Again, if the condition is true, it then executes the statement. So it will go on executing the body of the while loop till the condition is true. As soon as the condition becomes false, it will come out of the while loop. The syntax for the while loop is while, test expression, colon, body of while. While is the keyword, text expression is the condition, and body of while is the statement which is to be executed when the condition is true. As soon as here the condition becomes false, the control will come out of this while loop and will come below the line, that is the unintended part. For example, I equals to 0, while I less than 3, print I plus 1. The for loop and while loop are similar in nature, but the way to write them is different. In the for loop, in one step only we can write the starting value, the ending value, as well as the gap, or you can say the condition. Ending value is the condition, and here we write the starting value in the starting only, like we have written here I equals to 0. So this is the starting value. Ending value is till 3, that is less than 3. So this is the condition here, while I less than 3. This is the body of the while loop, print I. And now we want to increment 1. So this is the gap, I equals to I plus 1. Let us check the output. I equals to 0, Condition is checked. 0 is less than 3. Yes, 0 is less than 3. Print I. Output is 0. Then I becomes I plus 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Again goes to the condition part. 1 less than 3. Condition is again true. Print I. 1 is printed. Then I equals to I plus 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 less than 3. Condition is checked. Yes, 2 is less than 3. Print I means print 2. Then I becomes I plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Then again goes to the condition 3 less than 3. Condition becomes false now. Now the condition is false. Print I no. As soon as the condition becomes false, it will not go to this part. It will go from automatically from here. It will come out of the loop and go to from here. It will go to the here. Nothing is written here. If we would have given here any print statement, it would have printed that statement. Otherwise, it will terminate, that is end, here only. Let us see some of the programs practically. So we are going to write the same program here for letter in Python. As soon as you give the colon sign and press the enter key, the cursor will automatically start from here by giving the indentation. It means this is the body of this for loop. All the statements here will come under this loop. Now let us run this program. So you can see this is our output. PYTHON, all the characters in the separate lines. Now in case we give here any print statement like print by, what will be the output now? So you can see here now the output is Python and then by. As soon as it doesn't find any character in the string, it will come out of the for loop and print the statement, execute the statement that is outside this loop. And outside this loop is by. How we will come to know that it is outside this loop? Because it is starting from here. So till the part the indentation is there, it is a part of that loop. As soon as the indentation is not there, it becomes the main part of the program. So this is the unintended part. So it will come out of the loop. This is the outer part of the loop. Understood this thing? Here we have the for loop with the range function. For I in range, starting value 2, end value 50, gap of 5, colon sign, print I. For and I keywords, I control variable, range name of the function, numerical values and print I. Let us run this program. So here we have a starting value 2. Then gap of 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 plus 5 17. 17 plus 5 22. 22 plus 5 27. 27 plus 5 32. 32 plus 5 37. Plus 5 42. Plus 5 47. Now if it will try to add 47 plus 5, it will become 52 and it will become more than the ending value. That cannot be taken. Always value less than the given ending value is to be taken. So this is the output. Understood this thing? Now this is a program of the while loop, the same which we have discussed. I equals to 0 while I less than 3, print I plus 1. Now you can see here the output is 0, 1 and 2. Suppose we change the condition here and we make it as less than equal to 3. So what will be the output then? In that case, the output will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Clear? Because when the value of I becomes 3, 3 less than or equal to 3 condition is true, and then it will print 3 also. Understood this thing? Now let us type a program to find the table of 3. So to type the table of 3, what do we need? The number 3. So we take a variable n which stores the number 3. Whenever you have to write a program to find the table of any number, so first of all you have to take a variable and assign that number to that variable. If I have to calculate the table of 6, then I will say n is equal to 6. Not only n, you can take any variable of your choice, a, b, c, x, y, z, or number, anything. Then what we have to do is we have to iterate it, means we have to repeat this thing from 1 to 10. Let us do it with the for loop. If we do it with the for loop, what is the syntax? First of all, the keyword will come for, take any control variable, like I take I, then take the keyword in, then we have to take in a range, that is from 1 to 10. So we will use the range function here. Start the parenthesis. 1 to 10 we have to take, but the function range takes one value less than the given value, so we have to give one extra value, that is 11. Close the parenthesis, then put the colon sign, press the enter key. Then what we have to print is, क्या print कराना है आपको? Print the number, like हमें table print कराना है, so we'll say n, comma, that symbol multiply you have to print as it is, it has to be put in the single quotes or double quotes, comma, I, 1, 2, 3, it will go from 1 to 10. So first time it will take the value as 1, then like 3 multiply 1 is equal to, put a comma, equals to should be as it is, put in single or double quotes, then n into I, that is whatever is the answer of, put a comma here first, whatever is the answer of multiplication, that should come. Okay, close the parenthesis. Remember to put commas and put single or double quotes, whatever you want to be printed as it is on the screen. Run this program. Now you can see on the output screen, see what is coming here, 33333. Why it is coming? Because by mistake in place of I we have put here n. So we'll just check it once again. Run. Okay. So now you can see the correct output. 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, till 3 10s are 30. The correct output is coming. Same way you can find the table of 4, 5, 6, any table. Now let us try it with while loop. So let us put this thing in the comment section so that it is ignored by the interpreter. You can put the hash symbol in every line, or for multi-line comments you can give the triple quotes like this. Now whatever is written above the for loop, we have to write that thing. Then the starting value is 1, so starting value for the while loop has to be given above it. We say I equals to 1. Then what was the syntax of while? While, it is a keyword, it is showing in orange color. I less than 11, we have to take till 10. So either we can take less than 11 or we can take less than equal to 10. Both the conditions will be right. Colon sign. What we have to print? The same print statement which we have given in the for loop. N, comma, in the quotes, multiply sign, comma, I, comma, in the quotes, equal to sign, comma, n into I. Clear this thing? Print statement for both are same, only the condition and the initialization part will differ. Okay, so this is the print statement, and now let us run it. Here one thing is left, we have not incremented the value, because in the range function it automatically takes the next value, but here we have to give the statement I equals to I plus 1. So here you can see the output, the table of 3 has come till 3 10s are 30. Okay, so this is the way you have to find out the output with the for loop and the while loop. Now let's move to the assignment part. So in the first 4 questions you have to find out the output. For I in range 20, print I. This is the stop value. It will take one value less than the given value and you have to print the value of I. Second question, for I in range 2, 30, 4, that is start, stop, step, print I. Start from 2 end till 30, that is you have to take a gap of 4, so you have to see what value should be the last. Do this. Third one is count equals to, this is a list. For C in count, print C. So it will print one digit, one number in the separate lines. Check by doing it practically. These all are the practical questions, so it is better you do it practically. First you can apply your logic and try on your own on a pen and paper, and then you can check it out by doing it practically. Then count equals to 1 while count less than equal to 5. Same type of questions we have discussed just now, that you can do. Now the fifth question says write a program to generate the table of 6 using for loop and while loop. So here we have taken the example of table of 3. The same way you have to find the table of 6 using the for loop once and once using the while loop. So the part 3 is completed now. Next we'll move on to the part 4 of this chapter. Till then complete all your assignment.